Good morning. May I have your name and date of birth?
Evans Ball.
We're here today on a municipal court warrant of the El Mirage Municipal Court. It's for a case involving drug paraphernalia and failure to appear. I'm not appointing you an attorney today because they're both misdemeanor allegations. Because they're misdemeanors, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. However, you can hire an attorney at your own expense if you so choose. I am going to set an arraignment hearing in the El Mirage Municipal Court on July 30th at 8 a.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's just a promise to appear for your next court date. Okay. I'm also ordering that you must not have any contact with the arresting officers, no possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all that will be in your paperwork. Go ahead and grab that and take a seat. Tim Davenport to the podium, and Angela Haston to the chair, please. Good morning. May I have your name and date of birth?
Tim Davenport, 11.
Thank you. We're here today on a municipal court new case out of the Buckeye Municipal Court. It's for allegations of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and assault causing fear of physical injury, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause. Because they're both misdemeanor allegations, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. However, you can hire an attorney at your own expense if you so choose. I am going to set an arraignment hearing on July 30th at 8:30 a.m. in the Buckeye Municipal Court, and I'm going to release you on your own recognizance today. Okay. As a part of your release, I'll also order that you not have contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, no possessing any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. Any other questions?
No. Thank you.
Grab your paperwork from the officer and take a seat. Angela Haston to the podium, and Ruben Urquidez to the chair, please.
Get one of the papers.
Oh, you're fine.
Try to figure out where it came from.
Good morning. May I have your name and date of birth?
Angela Haston.
We're here today on a municipal court new case out of the Peoria Municipal Court. It's for a case involving disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting an arraignment hearing in the Peoria Municipal Court on August 1st at 9 a.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. It's a promise that you will appear at your next court date. I am going to also order that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any victim, complainant, or witness, no possessing any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must obey any terms of any order of protection or order against harassment that has been or will be issued. I'm also ordering that you may not reside at the same location as any listed victim, even if you are the owner or renter of that residence. If you do share a common residence with any victim, you must find an alternative residence and bring proof to your next court date. If you do need any personal belongings from that location, I will allow what's called one civil standby. Contact the non-emergency number of local law enforcement. They'll escort you to the home to get your belongings, and then you'll leave. Finally, I'm ordering that you may not initiate any contact with any alleged victim for any reason, whether that be direct or indirect, such as through third parties or social media, nor respond to any contact from any listed victim. Do you have any questions?
I just wanted to say that Monday I filed an order of protection and I was granted sole access to reside at the residence.
Was that in Superior Court or was that in Municipal Court?
Municipal.
Municipal, okay. So I don't have access to the municipal court filings, if that's true. I have no doubt about that. What I would suggest doing is contacting the Peoria Municipal Court after you are released. I'm not going to change those orders without proof that that actually happened. I have no reason to doubt that you did that. But the Peoria Municipal Court can modify any of my orders. But at this point in time, that's what I'm going to order today.
So I need to contact the Peoria
Correct.
Court?
Correct.
And they'll contact you?
They're not going to contact me because your case is now going to be in Peoria Municipal Court. So the judge that's assigned to your case will be in Municipal Court. So they'll handle that from here on out.
Okay.
Okay.
So your order is canceling out the order of protection?
I'm not modifying the order of protection. Like I said, I don't know if that order exists or doesn't exist. I cannot modify that order. Only the municipal court that granted that order can modify that. What I'm doing is based on what I reviewed. I'm ordering that you not return to that location right now. If this needs to be modified,
I have animals. I have all
I understand it. That's my order in this case. So you can contact the Peoria Municipal Court moving forward, but I'm ordering that you do not return to that location. Do you have any other questions?
When can I schedule my civil to get my stuff?
You contact the non-emergency number of law enforcement. They're going to set that up. I don't know when they're available.
So I can do that, right? I can do that after I leave right now?
You can call them today. Correct.
Okay.
It'll be in your paperwork allowing you a civil standby. That's all you need to give to them.
All right,
Okay?
Yep.
Go ahead and grab that paperwork and take a seat. Ruben Uriquides to the podium, and Cheyenne Stevenson to the chair, please.
Good morning, sir. My name is Ruben Urquides.
We're here today on a municipal court new case out of the Buckeye Municipal Court. You were arrested on allegations of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting an arraignment hearing in the Buckeye Municipal Court on July 30th at 8:30 a.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. It's a promise that you will appear for your next court date. As a part of your release, I am ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, no possessing any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must obey any terms of any order of protection or order against harassment that has been or will be issued. I'm also ordering that you may not reside at the same location as any listed victim, nor go to the victim's residence, even if you are the owner or renter of that residence. If you do have a common residence with any victim, you must find an alternative residence and bring proof to your next court date. I'm also going to allow one civil standby. If you do need to obtain any personal belongings, contact the non-emergency number of local law enforcement. They'll escort you to the home to get your belongings, and then you'll leave. Finally, I'm ordering that you not initiate any contact with any listed victim for any reason, whether that be direct or indirect, such as through third parties or social media, nor respond to any contact from any alleged victim. Do you have a question?
What if I get a hold of the police, the non-emergency, and my wife is not there?
So, I mean, the police aren't going to break into that house. Someone has to be at the location to let you in. What I'm saying is you can collect your belongings at that location. You can talk with the police and see what their protocol is on that.
Okay.
You can likely give the victim's contact information to the officers so the officers can coordinate that. But I mean, hopefully you don't just show up and no one's there. But you will have that ability to go to your home to get belongings in my release paperwork.
And lastly, may I have this case transferred to the Veterans Court in Tempe?
So probably not. So this is filed in Buckeye Municipal Court. So it's not in Superior Court. Tempe may have a Veterans Court in their municipality, but it's in a different city. So since it's in Buckeye, I don't know if Buckeye has a Veterans Court. You can ask them at your next court date. Yeah, so they likely won't transfer it because it's a different jurisdiction.
Okay.
But I mean, you can always bring that up to Buckeye. I don't know if they have some agreement with Tempe that maybe I'm not aware of, but
Will do, sir.
you can bring it up. Okay.
Thank
Go ahead
you.
and grab your paperwork and take a seat. Cheyenne Stevenson to the podium and Stephen Foy to the chair, please. Good morning. May I have your name and date of birth?
Cheyenne Rose Stevenson.
Here today on a municipal court new case out of the Peoria Municipal Court. You were arrested on allegations of drug paraphernalia, Class 1 misdemeanor, and transition prohibited contact, Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause. Because they're both misdemeanors, I'm not going to appoint you an attorney, but you can hire one at your own expense if you so choose. I am going to set an arraignment hearing on August 1st at 9 a.m. in the Peoria Municipal Court, and I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance. If you do, since you are being released today, I am ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any of the arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. Do you have any questions?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and grab your paperwork and take a seat. Stephen Foy to the podium, and Keontae Jones to the chair, please. Good morning. May I have your name and date of birth?
Stephen Foy.
We're here today out of Justice Court warrant of the Moon Valley Justice Court. It's for a case involving driving with a suspended license. I'm not going to appoint you an attorney at this point in time because it's a misdemeanor allegation, but you do have the right to hire an attorney if you choose. I am going to set an arraignment hearing in the Moon Valley Justice Court on August 2nd at 10 a.m., and I am going to release you today on your own recognizance.
Thank you.
It's a promise that you will appear for your next court date.
Okay.
I am also ordering that you not initiate any contact with the arresting officers, no possessing any drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. Do you have any questions? Okay, make sure you go to court, because if you don't go to court, another warrant would be issued, okay? Grab your paperwork from the officer and take a seat.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Keontae Jones to the podium. Good morning. May I have your name and date of birth?
Keontae Jones, 0.
Thank you. We're here today on two cases. The first is a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of unlawful flight from law enforcement, Class 5 felony, 1 count of endangerment, Class 6 felony, 1 count of criminal impersonation, Class 6 felony, 2 counts of criminal trespassing, Class 6 felonies, 1 count of failing to stay at the scene of an accident, Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of resisting arrest, passive resistance, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of obstruction, refusing to provide your true name, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause as to these allegations, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on July 22nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on July 25th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $50,000. That does mean you can use a bonding company. If you do post bond, I'm ordering pretrial services supervises you in the community and that they install electronic monitor on you prior to your release. I'm also ordering that you may not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with the arresting officers, no contact with any listed co-defendants, no possessing any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. We're also here today out of a warrant out of Nevada. Did you have an opportunity to read through that placard they provided to you? So I'm going to go over all of that with you as well. Since it is an extradition case and we're making a record for Nevada, I do have to read you some things, so bear with me as we go through this, okay? As I stated, you do have a warrant out of the state of Nevada, so you do have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to the requesting state within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and the governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you're sent back to Nevada. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in the Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for Nevada to come and get you. That 30-day period would start tomorrow as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. Since you do have new criminal charges pending, your 30-day period would not begin until those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I will set a hearing in the downtown Superior Court on July 29th at 1:30 p.m. I cannot appoint you an attorney in this case because this case is civil in nature, but you do have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense if you choose. You are entitled to bail in this case. It would be a $5,000 bail on the fugitive from justice case, $50,000 for your new case. If you do post bail, you could be released into the community pending the extradition matter. If you're unable to post your bail, you'll be held in custody during that time or until another judge modifies your bail. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states is required to extradite you back to Nevada, and that process could take up to 90 days. Do you understand your two different options on this warrant?
So you saying I can get extradited in 30 days, but it's not, I can't get extradited until after this case is...
So on the out-of-state warrant, you kind of have two options. You can have that extradition hearing. That's a whole process where they determine whether or not you're extraditable back to Nevada. That process takes up to 90 days. On that case, I could set a bond in that case so that you could be released into the community if you post that bond while the extradition process is going through. If you just want to say, hey, I will voluntarily go back to Nevada, that's when we do the waiver. You waive the right to have this whole process. You're held non-bondable until Nevada comes and gets you. That's a 30-day clock. That clock doesn't start, though, until everything pending in Arizona is resolved. So you're held non-bondable during that time. So if your new case is resolved in a month, then that 30-day period would start after that month. If your new case takes a year, that 30 days wouldn't begin until that year is over.
Because I feel like the charges that I got, like they similar, like I feel like the cop was just stacking charges on me, like they was putting false information to it, and then...
Talking about your new case?
Yeah, the new one. Like, all of those is, like, stacked up. They were just sitting there just making things up to charge me.
So I'm appointing you an attorney on that case as well. So definitely talk with your attorney on your new Arizona case about that whole concern. I understand where you're coming from there. I'm finding probable cause, at least today, but that we're not making a determination on whether you're guilty or innocent on that case. So talk with your attorney about that. Because there's that new case and you theoretically could be held for quite a while non-bondable, I am inclined to set an initial hearing on the extradition case so that you at least have a bond set in both cases.
Yeah.
That doesn't prevent you from waiving at a future date. Like, if you're able to talk to your attorney on your new case and it gets dismissed or something, or you change your mind, you can always waive the extradition process at your next hearing on the 29th. You don't lose that ability.
Okay.
But that at least gives you the opportunity to talk to your attorney on the new case.
Okay.
That's what I'm inclined to do, but the choice is yours. If you want to waive, we can do the waiver.
No, I want to keep my options open for
Okay,
bail.
so what we'll go ahead and do, we'll set that fugitive from justice initial hearing on July 29th at 1:30 p.m. in the downtown Superior Court. I'll issue that secured bond in the amount of $5,000. You do have to post bond on both cases in order to be released. So your total bond will be $55,000. If they're both secured, so you can use a bonding company, they require 10% plus collateral. You'll have access to their contact information back in custody. Any questions about your release conditions today? Okay, all that'll be in your paperwork. I have to print the fugitive from justice one, so bear with us. Go ahead and just take a seat for right now, okay? And that's good to print. And then we'll just have to clear the courtroom for that. It's gonna be a total of 8. Morris, sir, give us just 1 second, okay?
There we go, we're good.
All right. May I have your name and date of birth?
Andrew Scott Pinsley.
Today on 4 different cases. The first is a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of 1 count of burglary in the 2nd degree, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of burglary tools, a Class 6 felony. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on July 22nd at 8:30 and an evidentiary hearing on July 23rd at 1:30 p.m. in the downtown Superior Court. Because you were on felony release on another case when these allegations occurred, I do have to hold you non-bondable on this matter, so I am setting that evidentiary hearing. Speak with your attorney about arguing for your release at that next hearing. We're also here today on 3 failure to appear bench warrants. The first case is on a case involving 2 counts of sexual conduct with a minor. The second case is involving dangerous drug possession and drug paraphernalia. And the third case is possession of a weapon by a prohibited person and theft. I will affirm your attorney that was appointed to you in all 3 of those cases, and I will set them all for a status conference on the 25th at 8:30 a.m. I am going to hold you non-bondable in those matters as well. It does appear that you already entered a plea and you failed to appear at sentencing, so I'll hold you non-bondable on those. But also speak with your attorney. Likely they'll all be set together, so your attorney can argue for some sort of release conditions if that's appropriate. All of that will be provided to you in your written release conditions. Do you have any questions?
No, but I do have to ask, what do I got to do to see medical?
They're going to take you back to processing right now. So they'll give you access to medical once you get back.
All right, thank you.
No,
Appreciate you, sir.
Go ahead and grab your paperwork and then have a seat.